So unfortunately for young Darius, he's got to watch from the sidelines, as is Josh White, who came in. So we've got ready to go and watch from the middle of the front row. We'll see what we get. Yes, it is front row. It was Henry has got the start. We were talking about him before. All of them have made it through remarkably well. Look, and he has headed off into the distance as young Henry.
Had a massive moment at turn 3, Braxy, actually turn 4, as he went in there. The whole bike snapped sideways. It was almost like watching the 450 Supermotos again. And Josh McLean, how sideways he was getting his KTM. Well, that's exactly what Henry did on that first lap. But look at him. We said that he looked the most comfortable in the wet in leg 1, and he's doing the same in leg 2. But he's pushing very hard, very early from the front. But who's going with him? Harry Watts on board the 27 machine. Just having a look to see who that is in third place at the moment. As you mentioned, they're all very hard to pick now. They've all got the matching Racondi FIM MiniGP leathers. As the field makes their way down through the final 2 corners now, it is still Henry and Watts that are our race leaders, getting a nice lead over the rider in third place as they come across the line. Just waiting for our timing monitor to update, and it tells us that Henry is leading from Watts and Levi Russo, with Judd Playstead in 4th and Jake Page in 5th.
Yeah, and I was looking at the way that Ricky Henry was riding then at that last section. As he come on, Harrison Watts closes right up on him here in this part of the track. But Henry's got the confidence to get on the gas pretty early and make that little bit of a break, whereas seems that Watts has got a bit more confidence in his front end going under brakes. So as they come down to complete lap number 2, repeating, this has been shortened to a 10-lap race after they had 5 laps of their first stanza. But so the third position with Levi Russo is a bit of a lonely spot. But I've just got this feeling that Harry Watts turned 14 yesterday. He's just keeping him in sight. Big slide from Russo going through turn number 1. Then it's Playstead, Page, 5, Hunt, Fleming, Ella McCausland, Xavier Kermy, Isaac Ayad, Jackson McDonald, and then Ethan Ayad as well, as our leaders now come back from the top end of the circuit. So these two at the front, Henry and Watts, have distanced themselves from the field. Oh, Watts runs at him very hot into the chicane. Lucky he didn't lose the front there, grabbing a big handful of brake.
Yeah, Watts closes in onto the back of him. Tell you who's looking good now is actually Levi Russo in 3rd. Looks like he's managed to get a bit more confidence in the bike. Has a quick look over the shoulder. Sees that he's got a pretty big gap behind him as our race leaders are coming around through the final corner now to complete another lap. It is still Ricky Henry and Harrison Watts that lead this race. Levi Russo in 2nd, just looking back through the field. Looks like Judd Playstead, Jake Page and Jed Fyfe are also starting to gain a little bit more confidence. You can just tell by the body language and the way that they're riding. I think that was Playstead there. Got into turn 1 a little bit hot. Was that Jed Fyfe on board the 23 machine that actually ran off the track over the grass, did not back off the throttle, just kept it pinned. And I'll tell you what, there's a bit of his grandfather coming out in him there, isn't there?
And I'm sure he's old man would have a bit to say about that too. But Harrison Watts and Ricky Henry, and just getting their knee on the deck as well. Like the confidence they're showing in these Pirelli wet weather tyres they've got with the little Ohvales. And now they're coming up on the back of Ethan Ayad, who has had his first race this weekend, the young 10-year-old, joining his brother in the ranks. So now it looks like Henry is just that second part, the really final part of the lap. Now they get through Ayad. That was good. Henry's just showing so much confidence at the moment in his machine, with Levi Russo still there in 3rd. Henry a 56.1 compared to a 56.6 for Wattsy, and then the rest of them into the 58, 59 and 1 minute bracket.
I did notice before the start, Jed Fyfe was actually out on the grid having a look at the start position, and that with his rider coach this weekend, Chaz Hearn, and making sure that they had the start technique nailed. And he's done a pretty good job to get away, and he's sitting there still in 6th position. Just looking at the 3rd place rider at the moment, looks like he's actually just dropped back a fraction, as well as we see battles going on all the way back through the field. You can hear the crowd really getting into it as well, Bruxy, yelling encouragement as these young fellas as they make their way on around this very, very tricky circuit. But once again, as we said earlier on, the style and the confidence of these riders to be keeping these bikes on track at a very, very slippery circuit. Great advertisement for the Ohvale GP machines and also for the Pirelli tyres, and also the riding skill and determination of these young riders that a lot of them, as you mentioned, have got dirt track and flat track experience.
It's been great to see these, but they're looking back through the field as we look at Fife, Hunt and Fleming, and also the three of them, they're just all over each other at the moment. But as the race, look at the entry speed of Harrison Watts on bike number 27 compared to 36 of Ricky Henry. Ricky Henry, and he's really fast through this part, the final part of the lap is Ricky Henry. He's been able to make a couple of bike lengths gap on Harrison Watts in second position. And I think that was that was Danny Pedrosa there, young Jacko McDonald there, just holding off Xavier Kearney as our leaders now come through. But look at you just see on the body language, Phil, how confident they are at the front.
And also the fact that they're not scared to run over those areas of repaired tarmac as well, with a bit of tar snake and that on them. They just go across them as if they're not even there, which is showing great confidence. But the corner entry speed into that chicane, we mentioned about Glenn Allerton earlier on today, how good he was going in there. Well, these young riders are showing just the same amount of confidence. As Harrison Watts closes right up onto the back of our race leader, Ricky Henry. There's nothing between them now, Braxy, and Harrison Watts trying to find a way past. He's had to get on the brakes, something that they haven't been doing a lot of in this race. And as they come down now to the final corners, it is Watts looking increasingly desperate to try and get past our race leader. There is a back marker that's going to come into the equation soon, and Watts has passed. Watts has passed. Henry is back up the inside. They're going elbow to elbow as they come down in towards turn one, but it is Ricky Henry that manages to just maintain the lead after 3 overtaking manoeuvres in 3 corners.
Yeah, we said they relaxed pretty quickly into it, but now they're starting, the more experienced and confident ones coming up against the less experienced, the ones that are gingerly working their way around the track, just learning their way. There's been a couple of fraught moments there of deciding which way to go between the lap riders. But Ricky Henry now down to a 57. Harry Watts into a 56, the fastest lap of the race that previous circuit. Now they're coming down. They'll have 2 laps to go of this 1 kilometre and 30 metre track. And it's also good to see that they're not getting too excited. Is Ricky Henry. He knows that he can get in front of this kid, slides up the inside, doesn't want to do anything to, frisk the youngster. So they're 8 laps down, they've got 2 to go. So what is it going to be between these two, Harrison Watts and Ricky Henry? Ricky Henry's having a great race at the moment. Levi Russo in 3rd, Judd Plaisted in 4th, Jake Page, then it's William Hunt, Jed Fife. Good ride for him. Tyrion Fleming not comfortable in the wet, the series leader at the moment. Ella McClawson, Jackson McDonald, Xavier Kermy and the Ayad brothers rounding out the field as they learn their way around this treacherous bit of bitumen at the moment.
It is still Henry holding on just, but they come very the back marker, the short back and sides as they both go around. Harrison Watts tries to go around the outside, but Henry on the inside just manages to hold the line as they head up towards the final 3 corners through the right and left chicane, or the left and right chicane. There goes Watts up the inside. Can Henry come back on the inside? He does. He comes back on the inside. Great racing between these two as they come down now to get the last lap board. And into turn 1, it is Henry holding on just, but Harrison Watts goes to the inside. He's got great drive, but he can't quite get past.
And here he is having another dip at the moment. One of them's run off at one of the back markers, but all eyes focus on the front here for the final lap of the second race of the FIM MiniGP. At the moment, it's Ricky Henry with the Schwantz replica helmet leading away. The only way you can really tell the difference between these two in the lessening light. Harrison Watts moves up the inside. He's been strong through this part of the course, through this second last chicane, the S's. So Ricky Henry's got a little bit left up his sleeve, but Harrison Watts is going to have one last dip at him. He's got 3 corners left as they come at it. Is he going to get the good drive out of here? But Ricky Henry's been pretty strong up here in this entire race, but it looks like Ricky Henry's going to hold on to the win just slightly from Harrison Watts. He takes the win. Hopefully he holds it together and doesn't crash in the turn 1. put your hands together for those guys. And in third spot, coming through now, just holding on at the moment, Levi Rosso from Judd Playstead.